Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the BFF Show with me, Beth Flanagan. And I've got a very, very special guest today, Estelle. Estelle, can you please introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. My name is Estelle Keeper. I am one of the UK's leading Instagram experts, author and speaker, and I help business owners to understand how to make more impact on Instagram, raise the visibility of their brand and their business in as little time as possible.
Brilliant. So you are the right person on the show then, because it's all about Instagram.
I'm in the right place.
Exactly. So we all know as business owners that we need to get out there. Social media is free. Yeah, I know there's paid ads and things like that, but it's free generally. We can, and there's loads of it. There's obviously Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, did I say LinkedIn? I can't remember. There's loads of them, isn't there? YouTube. Why is Instagram important for business owners to be on there?
Instagram is one of the biggest platforms in terms of all of the things that you've just spoken about. So, you know, like back in the day, there were nowhere near as many platforms as there are now. However, Instagram has been one that's stood the test of time. It's been around now, I think, for about 13 years, I think.
Has it? Wow.
And, you know, it's changed massively in that amount of time. You know, it's gone from being a platform that people just shared pictures onto to actually being a really, really amazing marketing tool. And people seem to think that there's a specific demographic that use Instagram, and if that is not your demographic, then you know what's the point. And I will always say it doesn't matter whether your audience specifically are on Instagram or not. So for example, I may be selling, you know, lovely fluffy slippers for your nan. Your nan's 90 years old. She probably doesn't use Instagram. So as a slipper business, why would I be on Instagram? Well, the answer is she may not be on Instagram, but she's definitely going to be moaning about her bunions and all the rest of it to anybody else that will listen. That will be children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. And guess what? They are going to be on Instagram. And I think the percentage is around about 38% of people that see something on Instagram will tell somebody else about that product or service. So for me, Instagram is a platform that will work for pretty much any business, no matter who you are, what you do, or who your audience are.
So it's not just for product-based businesses as well then, because obviously I'm in the service-based industry, just like you. So it works brilliantly for us as well then.
Yes, so that's one of the, I would say that's probably one of the biggest issues that people will come to me with. When a new client comes to me, they will say, I'm struggling because I'm a service-based business and I don't have anything physical to show. And there are so many different ways that you can share content. It doesn't matter whether you are a physical business, an online business, whether you have a product or a service. Instagram is still an amazing platform for you to be using to reach an audience.
I always say that as well. So I'm an accountant. I've been for a long time, but I now coach accountants and bookkeepers, as you know. And that's what I always say, like, we don't sell physical products, like we don't sell tables and chairs. It's not something that we can touch and we can physically show you a VAT return or a payroll or a year-end accounts. We can't physically like show you and so you can touch it. So what sort of hints and tips would you give sort of my direct audience, accountants and bookkeepers and CPAs? What hints and tips could you give us as to what we could post about to get a good reach?
Okay. So first and foremost, like you've just said, most people will think that because they don't have a product or service, what do you share?
Yeah.
You are the one thing that will make you stand out. So you're an accountant, bookkeeper, there's millions, no matter what it is that you do. You know, I'm quite niche, Instagram expert and speaker, you know, that's quite niche. Yeah. However, there are other people out there that do that. And the one reason that people come to me is because of what they see on my social media. They know what they're getting. They know the sort of person that I am. They know the way that I deliver my trainings, the way that I work with my clients, because you can see that across all of my socials, across all of my branding. You know, that's the one thing that will make you stand out amongst a crowd of different people. And there's lots of ways that you can do that. Just showing up every day and sharing a little snippet of what's going on in your life. It doesn't have to be a hard sell. Here I am. I'm Bev. I'm an accountant. I can do your tax return. You know, that's not going to sell anything to anybody. However, if people are seeing you consistently showing up, oh, look, there's Bev. Oh, she's at an event. She's talking about this. Oh, there's Bev. She's at home. She's working on a client's accounts. It's all of those little bits and pieces, all of those little touch points that are going to get you those clients. And it doesn't happen overnight. You know, yes, you can have boosted posts and adverts and all of those things, but it's like anything else. It takes time to build a relationship. So first and foremost, make sure that you're just being consistent and sharing a little snippet. And it doesn't have to be your personal life. There's lots of people that are like, well, I don't really want to share, you know, my personal stuff. It doesn't have to be. It can be a selfie at your desk. It can be a picture of, you know, your workstation. It could be a picture of the view out of your window with a little caption of, you know, where you're working from and what you're doing today. So the first sort of content that I would say is, you know, kind of personal content, things that are going to allow people to get to know you is a really good way to build those relationships. But to kind of cement who you are, the way that you were just saying about, you know, you don't have any actual, here's what I've done.
Yeah.
You can use testimonials, you know, no matter what business you're in, whether it's product, whether it's service, you're going to have people that have worked with you that are going to be willing to give you reviews or testimonials. And there's so many different ways that, again, you can share that into your socials, whether that's stories, whether it's posts, reels. There's just tons of ways. So first of all, show up and, you know, be yourself and be authentic. But also, you know, bring in other people that you've already worked with to show this is who I am, this is what I do, and these are the results that you can expect.
So just doing, like, showing yourself, doing your day-to-day tasks then, if you like, are people genuinely interested in that? Like, would genuinely people, business owners that need an accountant, would they genuinely be bothered about looking at an accountant or a bookkeeper sat at the desk going, oh, I'm just doing some payroll today?
It's about building a relationship so that people become more like your friends. That's the point we want to get people to. People have got to trust you. So I don't know about you, but I would like to think that my friends trust me. I don't know if they do, but, you know, I would like to think that they do. And that's what you're doing with social media. It's social. You're building that relationship. I have people that I have followed for so long, and I can't wait to see their stories. I can't wait to see where they're going. I know a girl that, you know, she's an amazing weightlifter. She's always out hiking. And I love reading her stories and seeing what she's getting up to. And it's because, one, I can relate to that, but two, it also gives me a really good sense of who she is. My coach, I chose to work with her because I see what she does via her social media. She aligns with me. Her values align with mine. And I wouldn't know that if I wasn't seeing little snippets of her life and behind the scenes. Because, you know, it's one thing putting out sales posts and, you know, showing people this is what I do. But actually, it's that authentic side. It's seeing that personal touch that will make the difference.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head there as well. It's a good job you know what you're talking about, isn't it, Estelle? But like you just said, it's a social platform. Yes, it's social media. That's never really clicked in my head. It's social. Yeah, it's a social media. It's social. So yeah, of course it wants to be more social and to get. Yeah, I don't know why I've never thought of that.
So the point that, like, I really like to push home with the social media, you can be sharing the most amazing content, but if you're not engaging with people, you're going to lose the relationship. People will ask me, you know, how do you find your ideal clients on Instagram? You go and find them and you engage with them, because they may not even know you exist yet. But if you go over, you find their account, you go over, you like 5 of their posts, the 5-5-5 rule. I'll share this one with you. So you find an account. Shall I rewind and start this from how you find your ideal clients?
Let's go for it. Yes, I'm listening. I've got my pen and paper ready.
Okay,
juicy tips coming up, sounds like.
this is a really good one, because lots of people ask me this, and it is a really big question. But one of the easiest ways that I break it down is the 5-5-5.
Okay.
So when you are looking to connect with your ideal clients on Instagram, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can optimize your bio, you can put keywords in your captions. But if you're actively wanting to go and search for your clients, for example, you would be looking for, I'm guessing, small businesses. No, you work small businesses. Are you still doing accounting, or is it just you coach?
No, myself, I do coaching for accountants and bookkeepers.
Okay, so if you're an accountant, so I'm gonna break this down in two ways. So
okay.
For anybody that's watching, if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper, you're probably wanting to work with small business owners.
Yeah.
And Bev, you're probably wanting to work with other accountants and bookkeepers.
Correct, yeah.
So you need to think about what words are they going to be sharing in their captions? What are they going to be putting in their bio? So it will tend to be most of the time those keywords that we've just talked about. Small business owner. If you want to go really niche, you can start thinking about, what sort of products are they? Are they, self-care products? Are they, I don't know, journals? If you know specifically, the more you know about your ideal client, the better and easier this is. Mm-hmm. So you think about the keywords that they're going to be using in their posts, and then you search those words. It's a bit like hashtags. So you go and search those words, and then you blah, 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 blah. I get so excited, I can't get my words out. And then you use those words and you go and search. So you put the first keyword in, you search through the content that Instagram's giving you, and you'll soon start to see which accounts are your ideal clients. So if I'm looking to work with small business owners, I'm expecting to see stuff about their business, about them on their feed. So when I scroll through and see that, I know that person's my ideal client. I go to their account. I like 5 of their posts. I comment genuinely on 5 of their posts, and I engage with their stories.
Right.
Now that's 5 notifications they're going to get from you liking their posts. They're going to get another 5 notifications from the comments, and they're going to get your reaction from your stories. So when they go to their account, they're going to see a notification in their messages or in their notifications that shows them, bam, 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 Estelle. All of a sudden, they're thinking, who is this person that's been on my account, stalking me? They're going to then come over and check out my account.
Right. Get that totally, yeah. That makes total sense.
It's the simplest way for you to kind of break it down. And if you think of 5 keywords, use those 5 keywords, find 5 accounts each time. Imagine how many people you're going to be engaging with.
So it's the keywords that they've got in their bio, not the keywords that they'll be searching for. So for an accountant, for example, if it's an accountant that's looking for a plumber because they niche in trades and construction, we'll be looking at not the keywords of what they're looking for in relation to them doing their accounts. It's what they've got on their bio, right, to find the accounts.
Yes.
First.
And it would be the opposite way round for you. You would want those keywords that would bring you up when they are looking for an accountant.
Yes.
So it's just the opposite way round. You are searching out your ideal clients based on the words that they are using.
And as well as the 555 rule, then, do we follow them as well at the same time?
You can follow them, yes, because obviously then it's giving them another notification, and you will then allow that content to start showing up in your feed so you can engage with them more regularly.
Yeah.
And, once you get maybe 3-6 months down the line, have a little clear up through of your followers. So then you can take out anybody that you're no longer interested in following, or that you don't align with anymore, or that maybe aren't your ideal clients. And you can just have a tidy up of your followers. So then that just stops your followers from being incredibly high, rather than them kind of being at an equal level with your following.
That's brilliant. How often do you think we should post on Instagram?
This is a good question too, and it depends on the person. So I saw yesterday, and I don't ever like to piss on anybody's parade or slag anybody else off. But I saw a post yesterday that said, ideally you should be posting 3 reels a day.
Okay.
I don't have time to wee 3 times a day.
No, me neither.
So I don't know about you, Bev, but have you got time to create 3 reels a day?
No. It's quite a lot, isn't it?
3 reels a day is a lot. So for me, it's about whatever you can be consistent with.
Right.
So if you can do one post, one reel, and show up on stories every day, brilliant. If you can do 2 posts and 2 reels, brilliant. But it's about consistency. There's no good showing up every single day, blasting it with 3 reels per day for 3 days until you're exhausted and want to throw your phone at the wall. And then you're going to be off Instagram for 2 weeks because you can't stand the sight of it anymore. It's just counterproductive. So it's more about what you can do consistently. And if you want to put more content out, think about scheduling. That's another really, cool thing that you can do with Instagram, and you can do it with third-party apps now as well. So plan out your content, schedule it, batch create your reels. If you're going to have a day, if you're anything like me, I have one day where I have my hair and my makeup done. I look reasonably, viewable. And that's probably the day when I'm going to record some reels, because the rest of the time I look like a homeless hobo in my
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You've
I knew you were going to say that.
You've seen me.
You always look gorgeous, so don't say that.
I'm going to take the compliment. But anyway, I show up. Like yesterday, I thought about something that I wanted to share, and I am the worst procrastinator. And I go through stages as well where I hate being in lives. I hate being in my content. I am the same as anybody else when it comes to, we have days where we just don't want to do it. And that can sometimes be prolonged for me. Like, I'm just like, I really just don't want to do it. So being able to batch create my reels helps massively. And yesterday I just felt the urge, and I was in my shed. We've just been talking about your beautiful office at the bottom of the garden. My shed is actually a shed. I call it a love shack. But believe me, it's a cobwebby shed. But there were no excuses. I had no makeup on. My hair was in a bun. I had my hoodie on. And I was like, I want to share this. I'd meant to share it ages ago. So it's about looking for viral content. Yeah. Really cool content idea. And you can do this using Instagram's features. And I was like, I've wanted to share this for ages. I keep putting it off because I'm not ready. I'm not scheduled in. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it. So I did it, sat in my shed, and I shared it last night. It literally took me 5 minutes, but it's out there.
I'm going to check that out after this now.
It's a cool one.
This is like a shed before I started. I had it all gutted out. When I moved in here about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, this actually got a sign outside saying man cave, and it got a beer fridge, cobweb, screwdrivers just hanging off the wall. So I said to my husband, you're not having this, I'm having this space. So it's got to be purple. You've touched on posts and reels as you've been talking, and I know that some people listen to this going, what the hell is she on about? Why is there so many different things? Can you explain, please, if you don't mind, what the difference is between all the different varieties of how we can post on Instagram?
I sure can.
Finally, let's put this to bed. What's it all about?
I will try and be as brief as possible, because for anybody that knows me, when I start talking about Instagram, I'm very passionate. I'm very excitable. So I will try and keep it all very brief. And for anybody that wants to know more about any of these, especially the bits that we're going to talk about now, because Reels is a whole massive subject in itself.
On its own,
So I will, I'm sure you will drop it in there. If you check out the members area, there are tons of trainings. All the things that I'm going to talk about now that I'm literally going to touch on, you can go and find in depth, because I know there's so many, different formats of content. You don't know which is which. So there is a full training on that in there. So for anybody that wants to delve a bit deeper, check that out. Starting at the top, Instagram stories, they are on your feed for 24 hours only, and then they disappear unless you add them to a highlight. Now, Instagram stories appear at the top of your feed. You can share to them, and there's lots of interactive tools that you can use to help with engagement. Now, your Instagram stories are predominantly shown to people who already follow you. Right. So Instagram stories are a really, really good way for you to build on your relationship, because these people are already interested in what you have to say. They're interested in your content. So they're the ones to build the relationships with.
Okay.
Your Instagram posts. So these are what everybody knows as your regular main feed posts that everybody knows on Instagram. It's your picture. And then we have the option of video now as well. Now, all video that you share to Instagram is now shared as a reel. This has
Right.
only come in the space of the last probably 18 months, 2 years. There used to be video, live video, reels. And now it doesn't matter what you share as a video, it's shared as a reel.
Right.
So you can share your live. So for example, if you go live on Instagram, you can save it via Instagram afterwards and reshare it. It will show as a reel. So you have your main feed, which you can use for pictures or you can use for video. If you want to add more than one picture to your feed, so you may see this as you're scrolling, you can swipe across. There's dots at the bottom of the picture.
Yeah.
You can swipe across. This is called a carousel. These are really, really good because they keep people on your account for longer. So Instagram want people on the app. The longer they're on the app, the happier Instagram are. So
Right.
the longer they spend on your account, the more thumbs up this will give to Instagram that your account is a good account sharing good content.
Okay.
So when you share one picture, like we just talked about in a post, the chances are, if for example, if you've shared one, Bev,
Yeah.
I will scroll my feed at some point. If I scroll enough, I will see your one piece of content.
Yeah.
Whereas with a carousel, because you can add in multiple images, it also increases the chances of your content being seen. So for example, if you shared 5 pictures in a carousel, each one of those pictures will show in my feed at some point.
Right.
So you've now got 5 chances of your content being seen.
From one sort of post. Yeah.
One post, yeah. So one post that's a carousel, depending on how many pictures or videos you have, that will increase your visibility. And last month, I think it was, Instagram have now introduced the new feature that you can now add up to 20 pictures and videos to your carousels.
Also, you can add videos to a carousel as well.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So we've covered stories, posts, videos, carousel. Okay, Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels are very, very similar to TikTok. So for anybody that uses TikTok, they're very short form videos that you can add audio to. So this can be your own audio. This can be you speaking to camera. This can be an audio track, like a trending audio. And these are brilliant for you reaching a wider audience. So if you are wanting to expand your reach, then Instagram Reels are the sort of content that you want to be using, because Instagram will share them out to a wider audience and they have a much longer shelf life. So in terms of shelf life, Instagram stories last for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Your main feed posts, they tend to last maybe 2 days. They will forever stay on your account, but after 2 days, Instagram will kind of drop them out of the algorithm and they won't really catch any more engagement. Instagram Reels will still be getting engagement weeks and weeks afterwards. I've just had a reel that I shared maybe 2 months ago. It was about going to my first nudist spa. So again, sex sells. How obvious, like, is this? You know, of all my reels to go viral, it happened to be the one of me going to the spa. But I'd shared that weeks before. Then I had an article come out in a major newspaper. It was linked and we talked about, you know, my socials talked about the spa. And all of a sudden, that reel from weeks before has now shot to 600,000 views.
Wow. That's amazing.
Weeks after I shared it.
Wow. That's brilliant. So, yeah. So that just shows you the power of social media and the reach of where it goes to. Because obviously, I'm presuming you've not got 600,000 friends on there.
No, I haven't. I have less than 10,000. And this is another thing, just throwing some more Insta bombs in here. Instagram influencers and marketing. So many business owners think that they can't work with influencers because they can't afford to, because they see influencers as people like, you know, celebrities. Whereas
like the Kardashian types.
Yes. Which yes, they are influencers, but we have different levels of influencers. So for example, I'm in the sort of category of nano influencers or a micro influencer. Okay. I have less than 10,000 followers, but I have a really good engagement rate. Hence why I did a recent collaboration with a glamping company. I shared a bit of content for them, and within 24 hours, they'd already had a booking off the back of that.
Wow.
So although I have a small following, the people that follow me are genuinely attracted to what I'm talking about. So whether that's hiking, whether that's like, wild camping and nudity, or whether it's Instagram tips, I have a whole range of different people. But when I share out certain things, I know that a certain group of people are going to gravitate towards that. So, don't always sign off on Instagram marketing or influencers because you don't have a budget, because you will find influencers that have a smaller following will still have an impact when it comes to sharing content.
Definitely. So with that one you've just said that you've collaborated with, do they come to you, or do you find them? Do you ask to work with them? What normally happens?
It's a mixture, to be fair. So if I see a company, I tend to find them on Instagram. So if I find somewhere that I think that looks really cool, I would love to go there. I will then, get in touch with them. But there's also times when people will get in touch with me and say, how can you help me? And this is where it comes, like when it comes to Instagram marketing, there's so many different aspects. So, and I know, like, I'm talking about myself mainly, but, across the board, when it comes to marketing, I offer like a membership. So for business owners that want to kind of go and do something in their own pace, we've got that. We've got one-to-ones. So if you just want to have a quick deep dive, a full hour, we can do that. Consultancy is more, where I'm going to support you longer term. Content creation is where I will create content for somebody else, for them to share it. Influencer marketing or collaborations are when I will work with other companies and share their stuff to my audience. So I get like so many different people come to me, and that's why now I'm quite structured in when somebody comes to me, it's, well, you either want this, or this. And then they have a choice, because all of them are Instagram marketing and all of them are marketing support, but it just depends what you want to achieve with your marketing, I guess.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's really good. Because when you're just talking about Instagram in general, you don't realize the breadth of it, do you, when you're not an expert in it, like I'm not an expert, but like all the different ways we can post and the new algorithms, like you said, and it's constantly changing, and who we can work with, who's going to see you. And what are they going to want to see as well? Like you've just said, some people I know definitely in my industry will think, I'm not just going to do a picture or a quick video of me working because no one's going to want to see it. But they absolutely do, like you just said, because it's a social platform. But I also understand, like you've said as well, is that it can't just be one-sided. We've got to do that 5-5-5 with the others. Otherwise, it just does look like you're just literally there, just all for yourself.
And one of the other things, so I was just talking earlier about the little brainwave I had in my shed last night and shared out my reel. By the time you watch this, the reel will probably be old, but go and have a look for it, because what you were just saying about how do you know what your followers want to see?
Yes.
Well, being the Insta Queen, I can obviously tell you this.
Yes, please.
So there is a whole reel explaining this, but I will give you a few little breakdown. So go to your professional dashboard, go down to inspiration, click reels, and it will show you content that your followers are watching. So you will then start to see what sort of things your followers want to see. Aside from using your own insights, you can use your insights to see what's worked best for you so far, but you can now also use the inspiration tab, and you can go there and you can literally look at, I think there's about 3 or 4 different categories. One is, things content that's similar to yours. So again, you can use that for inspiration, look at other people's content, but then there's also a category there that shows you what your followers are already watching. And you can just simply scroll through that. Anything that's got some like really good engagement, that hook, that caption, whatever that is about, that's something that you need to sort of explore a little bit more.
And what's your thoughts on sort of copying, but not copying? Like you just said, so we're looking for inspiration, but then if a post done really well and you think, I could actually do that, is it okay to then sort of copy that in my own style?
Yes, because why reinvent the wheel?
And I think this is what people struggle with. They don't do it or they procrastinate because they don't know what to post, and they'll see others and they go, that's really good. I wish I'd have thought of that in the first place.
I think about that all the time. I look at pieces of content and think, geez, you're a genius. Why did I not think of that? Anyway, I didn't, but I'm going to recreate something like it. And you can, that's the fun of it, you know, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
tweak it, make it yours, add a different audio to it. You know, there's loads of ways that you can make it stand out, like we were talking about, you know, put your personal stamp on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with nicking a bit of inspo from somebody else.
I'm sure that's what they all do anyway. But the branding, like you said, is massive, isn't it? Like huge, huge, huge. That's what's going to make you stand out from everybody else. And if you do sort of copy other people's ideas, I'm saying it as if it's a negative thing, but it isn't, obviously. But if we're looking for inspiration, let's use inspiration instead of copying, then it's going to be different anyway, because it's in your brand, in your personality. So yeah, that's brilliant. I've got another quick question for you then. I think this is the last one, because you've given us so much in here. It's brilliant. What happened? What do you say to people that feel that they're too old, or they've not? Yeah, that they're too old. Like there's all these young ones on there these days, all in their early teens and the 20s, and there's like me that's nearly 50. And it's like, well, I can't do it because I can't compete with them. They're good. I can't do dances and stuff like they're doing. What do you say to those that are in business?
Oh, and again, I feel you here. I do. I really genuinely do, because I know how hard it is when you are seeing all of these things everywhere. We are inundated with stuff these days. So there's so many people to compare ourselves to. Yeah. However, imagine, you know, what would you have thought 20 years ago if, you know, you hadn't have started doing what you're doing? You know, 20 years down the line, you still wouldn't be doing it. Everybody starts at a different point, whether you're 21, whether you're 51, you know, everybody starts as a beginner. And if you don't start, when are you going to start? If you start tomorrow, you're a day older tomorrow. So, you know, let's just embrace it.
Just do it.
None of us are getting any younger. So, you know, there are no excuses. You will attract your tribe. It's like really cliche, your vibe attracts your tribe, but it genuinely will. So if you're one of these people that are really outspoken, go on Instagram and, you know, be your outspoken self. If you are one of those people that are a little bit more introverted and would prefer to have reels with text on rather than, hey, it's me, you know, do that, because people will relate to that as well. You know, some people want a quieter character to work with. Somebody, you know, some people like somebody that's like full of energy and, you know, going to bounce around the room. So it's exactly what we were talking about. Just be yourself. There is nobody else out there that is like you. And that is your superpower.
Brilliant. That's amazing. You've given us so much in here. Honestly, I've been making notes while you've been writing. So I'm definitely going to go to my professional dashboard once we've come off this and go and have a look at that inspiration, what you've just said. So how can people work with you, Estelle? Do you have any sort of offers on at the minute, or any programs that you're doing to help people with the Instagram journeys?
First of all, you can follow me over on Instagram. So my Instagram account is at Estelle Keeba Official. So you can go and find out all about me there. And like I said, we have lots of different levels of support. No matter where you're at in your business, the membership is £15 per month. It is really low end. There's over 15 trainings in there, I think. They're added to every single month so you can stay up to date at your own pace. If you need somebody to give you a bit of a kick up the bum in a one-to-one session, we have power hour sessions. And then obviously we have consultancy for those businesses that want a longer term support with, you know, a more strategic marketing approach. So no matter where you're at, you can drop me a DM. There's something to help. There's loads of challenges happening in the free Facebook group. So the Instagram gang over on Facebook is where I drop lots of daily tips and tricks. Depending on when this goes out, we have different challenges starting. We have one every other month or every third month. Totally free again. So if you just want to come and brush up on your Instagram knowledge, then you can do that there. And of course, you can get my book. That was really bad. That was really bad marketing, because I don't have a book.
Where's your book?
To hand.
I've actually got your book, but it's not to hand as well. Neither.
No, you would think I would have it. No.
Well, tell us about your book.
The book is The Insta Queen's Guide to Content That Converts. You can find it on Amazon. It tells you everything that you need to know about Instagram in a really simple, easy way at the beginning of the book. And then the rest of the book is planners and trackers, so you can plan in your content, track your success, look at your insights, and then figure out what your audience wants to see, so you can plan that in for the rest of your months. So yeah, there's tons out there. No matter where you're at, what your budget is, everybody should be on Instagram and marketing their business there. So I will do my best to support you with that.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been amazing. Thank you for all the tips, all the juicy tips.
You're welcome. Like I said, I can literally talk forever about Instagram. So you have to give me a cut-off limit, or make sure that I know what the subject is. But yeah, it's always changing, forever changing. So keep an eye on my socials.
And that's why we need to work with you, so that you can tell us when they keep updating.
Yes, for
Brill.
sure.
Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.